Ah, nothing like a good old Protoss versus Terran on Python. This seems to be like the classic StarCraft match back in the good old days. Well, not too long ago, really. Back in the good old days would be a lot before Python came out, but still, I mean, Python is like the map for really basic standard StarCraft, and everybody knows it. And Terran versus Protoss being such a classic StarCraft match, I really feel like I'm getting back to the basics with this one. But we've got Hwasin versus Free. Hwasin, of course, the Terran player, probably one of my favorite Terran players, if not the favorite, sort of behind Mind being my #1 all-time favorite StarCraft player. But Hwasin, really a cool player. His Korean name is Jin Young-soo, if I've got the pronunciation right, Jin Young-soo. He's a very good-looking guy too. If I was into other guys, I'd definitely be a fan in another sense other than gaming, if you know what I mean. But we've got the Protoss player Free over here, not to be messed with. Free is also a very good player. He's done reasonably well in some tournaments. He's never really sort of taken out a full league or anything, but he's done well. He's a bit of a feared player. You know, he's done well in pro league games oftentimes. But not too much that I can say about him. Hwasin, I think he's renowned for his Terran versus Zerg most of the time, but people often forget that he's also very good at TVT and TVP as well. I think he's a very well-rounded gamer. He's got great timing and great micro. He's very, very fast. A lot of people have that to say about him, and I agree. But both players starting up with a pretty standard build. We've got Hwasin going for barracks and refinery at the same time on 12. By the looks, well, we're at 14 supply now, but he started them when he was at 12. And looks like Free picking up a cybernetics core. He's already got his gas up. So again, it looks like one gate into goons probably, unless he goes to some kind of robotics. Well, one gate goons into robotics, or possibly fast expansion. Well, we'll see. Hwasin putting down a second supply depot now, and Free, as you can see, is scouted around the wrong directions, but he's finally making over to Hwasin's base. And Hwasin, on the other hand, scouting very late, but he's heading in the correct direction down to the 6 o'clock. If I didn't point out, Hwasin is the red Terran at the 9, well, let's call that the 8, and Free down at the 6 o'clock is the white Protoss. But finally the probe has showed up, but too late, and is not really going to get much harassment off. He's going to see what the Terran's doing, but running straight into the Marine, getting his pathing blocked, and escaping with one single hit point left. And nice probe block on the ramp here. Quick thinking by Free, and this says to me that he'll be looking to hide some kind of strategy here, probably some kind of Dark Templar rush or robotics, but Hwasin makes it past. Very nice play there by Hwasin, and sees the robotics facility. And not only does he see that, but he's going to know that Free was looking to hide that robotics facility from him. Therefore, he will probably deduce from that Free will be going for quick reavers. But now that Free knows that there was an SCP in his base, and looks like the Dragoon's going to be able to kill that very shortly, but Free knows that Hwasin has seen that robotics facility, so maybe he'll change his plan after that SCV is done. So I'll be keeping an eye on that, seeing what Free actually decide to do, now that he knows that he's been scouted. Hwasin, on the other hand, still keeping up his very standard single factory with a number of Marines ready to push out, maybe with a FD sort of style of Terran. There's the probe getting its shields back. It's fully back at 20 shields. Observatory for Free. So he's got Dragoon range and Observatory. This build doesn't have a whole lot of potential, I feel, but it can be useful in some situations. Of course, well, Free's not going to be going for the quick reaver, as we can see, and he's going to be behind on expansion. So, yeah, I mean, with that little trade-off of scouting, I feel like Hwasin is in a much more solid position here. I mean, maybe Free will go for the robotics later, but Free is not going to be able to get any quick harassment off, and he's not going to be able to get a faster expansion, so the Terrans are going to be ahead. And here comes the push anyway. So, and we've got a barracks floating over to the 6 o'clock to see what Free's doing, and Hwasin's going to see the observatory. He's really going to know what Free has invested in. So I really got to say that the Terrans have started off a lot better in this particular game, and we'll see how it develops. We've got the barracks floating over. Dragoons are probably going to be pulled off to see that, and there's the tanks just hanging around on sort of the upper plateau here, because he wants to be prepared for a potential potential Reaver harass, because he saw that robotics facility, doesn't know that Free has gone observers. He'll know in a second now, any second, that barracks will be in sight range, and he'll have scouted that. So there's the Dragoons out in the midfield, picking off another SUV, but looks like Hwasin has done all the scouting he needs. He's going to see that robotics facility going down. He's going to see that, well, he already knows about the robotics facility, but he's spotted the observatory now, so he knows that he's actually not even in danger of a robotics. And, robotic support bay is what I meant. And there's the second factory. We still haven't got the... Oh, there's the engineering bay. He started it after the second factory. So economically, Hwasin has got away with a much more effective start, really. He hasn't really had to invest into anything too cautious. And that's put him in the lead, as far as I'm concerned. Free's only just now finishing his second Nexus. He looks like he's going to go for a third over here, and as every Protoss player really ought to think about doing when they're in this sort of situation, catching up to the Terran. You don't really want to go 2 bases versus 2 bases, and there's a very late robotic support bay going down. So after he's got rid of the scout, and after he's got rid of the barracks, that's when the robotics support bay comes up. But I feel like it's going to be too late, because by then Hwasin probably will have got turrets just in case, and will have plenty of tanks lying around his base in siege mode. So the amount of damage that Reaver's going to be able to do will be not very much. It will be very scant. And here comes an SUV just looking around the map to see where Free's third base is, and he sees that that probe there. Going to take a chunk out of that probe's shields there. Looks like the Dragoons, according to the minimap, are arriving to deal with this. So this is the SUV. Hwasin will suspect that probe will be putting down a Nexus right after he's dealt with that, and here it comes. There's the Nexus, so straight into 3 bases. But generally, Free's doing this a lot slower than is desirable for a Protoss player. And looks like Hwasin's going to be in a really good position to the mid to late game. Here's the Reaver now, picking up, the shuttle's picking it up. He's going to pick up that Zealot probably as well. As you can see, Hwasin's forces are still up in the mid-ground, and with that number of troops there, he should easily be able to deal with that Reaver. Free knows it too, because he's got an observer nearby. And here comes the Reaver now. Looks like 2 Zealots loaded up with that Reaver. And, owned missile turret right there, finishing it just as the shuttle arrived. Nice timing. And there goes another oh no, that's a supply depot. Okay, but wow. Oh, that was just like the biggest shoot down. Well, not literal shoot down of the shuttle, but like figuratively. His whole strategy there is just basically ruined. He can't really do anything with that tech investment. He's got a slower third base. He got a slower second base. And it looks like Hwasin will be able to push out to a third whenever he wants. I don't really like the size of the standing forces of the Protoss either. They're not huge. We've got 4 factories rolling out tanks. We've got ion thrusters, 4 boosters, whatever you call it, for the vultures. And there's the shuttle, hanging around, feeling a bit disappointed that he couldn't really land off any kills. And Hwasin's been able to build heaps of SCVs. He's got a rolling economy here, as I like to call it. We've got leg upgrade just starting now from the Protoss. And Dragoons out in the field take out the Vulture. So things looking pretty standard apart from the slow start for the Protoss. It's a TVP on Python. Everybody who's played StarCraft has probably played a million of these games, if you play either of these 2 races, that is. The only other matchup, which is Reaver dropping out, taking some hits, picks it up just in time. What was going on there, Free? I don't know. Didn't even get any kills off with that Reaver as far as I saw. This is the third base, just flying out as far as it can, getting into position. The tank's going to be on sieging and heading out to really secure that. They've got to at this point. But this is just standard TVP timing. You really want to take that third base as Terrans on this map. These positions, 8 o'clock versus 6 o'clock, not too great for getting that mineral only. But it is possible. And with this number of tanks, I think Hwasin should be able to do it. He's got some on the cliffs as well, and looks like Free's coming in to see if he can do some damage. There's the shuttle now. He dropped off the Reaver, but I think the Reaver got killed there. Decent attack here by Free, but Hwasin is going to be able to push this back by the looks. Oh, he's losing his tanks on the field. So he has managed to delay this push. Looks like Hwasin's going to be able to go ahead anyway. He's got some tanks hanging around. There goes the command center, just floating down. Gonna land in place there, bring the SCVs around, and with this, well, he's got some Zealots in support. I think Free still may be able to delay this. If he can, then that'll be a plus in his favour. This is the mine taking out one of Hwasin's own tanks. Yikes. More reinforcements coming in from Hwasin. He's got a good number of factories to be able to do this, and Free is sent home packing. Looks like Hwasin is going to be able to secure that third base after all, and as soon as that happens, here come the SCVs ready to populate that mineral only with workers. Looks like we've got photon cannons going on down at the third base for Free as well. Got some more gateways heading up. Really wants to be secure against any potential vulture harass.